Me and Kobe, besides the late great Kobe, obviously, me and Kobe never had a real relationship.
When LeBron dropped that little bomb, fans could feel something shady in the air. Now Vanessa Bryant is breaking her silence. And what she's saying about Kobe and LeBron, wild. She's finally laying it all out and the tea is piping hot. According to Vanessa, Kobe was never cool with LeBron, and there's a whole list of reasons why. What she's revealing doesn't just twist the story, it sets it on fire. Forget that fake NBA bromance they tried to sell. Behind the scenes, it wasn't smiles and high fives. It was cold stares, backdoor moves, and subtle digs Kobe never let slide. This wasn't just friendly rivalry, it was personal.
Me and Kobe never had a real relationship either. Until we was on the Olympic team, we had a great relationship there, but it was always competitive between us. Until I became a Laker and then he retired, that's when our relationship became really, he welcomed me, called me bro, anything you need in LA, I got you, you're a Laker now, you family.
And here's the kicker. Vanessa claims that in Kobe's final season, he quietly warned close friends that the league was already rewriting his legacy. They were trying to phase him out before he even stepped away from the game. She said Kobe told them they're already twisting the story to make room for LeBron. Why? Simple. The NBA needed a new poster boy, someone younger, flashier, and easier to brand for the next generation. And they picked LeBron James, even while Kobe was still out here collecting rings. Let's not forget, Kobe had 5 championships, finals MVPs, worldwide respect. But even then, the media flipped the script. ESPN wouldn't shut up with the "Is LeBron better than Kobe?" talk. Bleacher Report kept pumping out wild headlines like LeBron James has surpassed Kobe Bryant. And Kobe noticed every bit of it. Back in 2013, NBA insiders weren't just comparing LeBron to Kobe, they were straight up pushing a whole agenda. Analysts didn't just hype LeBron up, they were acting like Kobe didn't even exist anymore. Skip Bayless even went on First Take and said, LeBron has already done more for his teams than Kobe ever did. That wasn't just hot take, it was straight disrespect. Picture this, Kobe's waking up at 4 a.m., body breaking down, still grinding harder than anyone in the league, wearing that Lakers jersey with pride.
He called me bro, anything you need in LA, I got you, you're a Laker now, you family.
But turn on the TV, all the talk is LeBron, LeBron, LeBron. Like Kobe's legacy was already fading while he was still playing. Vanessa Bryant recently let it slip during a private convo that Kobe used to hit mute on the TV whenever they brought up LeBron. Not because he was bitter, but because, like she allegedly said, it felt like they were stealing his flowers before the funeral. That line right there, it cuts deep. It sounds soft at first, but listen close. Never had a real relationship. That says everything. How did 2 of the biggest legends, same league, same stage, barely even connect until the very end of Kobe's career? Simple, because behind the scenes, there was tension. And not the friendly kind. This was real, quiet, heavy tension that never made it to the cameras. Kobe wasn't buying the hype. According to one of his former trainers who worked with him during his Achilles comeback, Kobe used to laugh off the idea that LeBron was clutch. He called it nothing but media hype, just a fancy cover-up for what he saw as mental softness. And Vanessa, according to someone close to her, she confirmed Kobe felt seriously disrespected by the way the league rolled out that red carpet for LeBron, especially in LA.
She was motivated to change the way everyone viewed women in sports. She wrote papers in school defending women and wrote about how the unequal pay difference for the NBA and WNBA leagues wasn't fair. And I truly feel she made positive changes for the WNBA players now.
That same source said Kobe believed he earned his place in Lakers history through blood, sweat, and heartbreak. Then LeBron shows up and boom, he's suddenly the new face of the franchise. It wasn't about hate, it was about pride, legacy, and that sharp pain of watching your spotlight fade while you're still sitting front row. And there were moments, clear ones, that drew a hard line between the 2 legends. None more telling than what happened on January 25th, 2020, the night LeBron passed Kobe on the all-time scoring list. And not just anywhere, he did it in Philadelphia, Kobe's own hometown. The NBA soaked it up, plastering headlines everywhere. And yeah, Kobe posted a classy tweet, continuing to move the game forward at King James. Much respect, my brother, number 33,644. It looked respectful, but here's the twist. Vanessa allegedly said Kobe watched that whole game, and not once did he crack a smile. Not one. That night, Vanessa told someone close to her, he's proud, but he feels like they're already erasing him. Let that hit for a second. One of the last nights of Kobe's life, and he was still thinking about his legacy being pushed aside before it even got the honor it deserved. That's deep. Then came LeBron's tribute the night after the crash. Sure, a lot of people praised it, but something was off. There was no mention of their rivalry. No real acknowledgement of how complicated their dynamic actually was. Vanessa didn't mention LeBron once. That silence, that wasn't a mistake. That was intentional. Because out of everyone, she knows exactly how Kobe felt. And now, she's finally starting to speak on it. According to someone who was at a private meeting with Kobe, he was furious with Nike. They were shifting focus hard, ditching Kobe's line and going all in on LeBron's brand. They were already talking about retiring certain Kobe products, and Kobe, he wasn't quiet about it. The insider said Kobe made it clear. He wanted out. He was planning to make Mamba its own thing. He saw what was happening, and he wasn't about to let them erase him while he was still alive. That's the wild part. Even before his death, Kobe was already looking for the exit door. He saw the signs, and Vanessa later confirmed it. After he passed, she pulled Kobe's name from the Nike deal completely. It wasn't just business, it was a bold move that rocked the sneaker game, because Kobe's legacy, it wasn't safe with brands trying to rewrite the story for their own gain. Vanessa wasn't about to let them bury Kobe's legacy just to hype up someone.
Kobe was known as a fierce competitor on the basketball court. The greatest of all time, a writer, an Oscar winner, and the Black Mamba.
According to a family confidant who stayed anonymous for safety reasons, Kobe even warned his daughters, especially Natalia, about how the media plays games with public memory. He told them straight up, you have to fight for your name because once I'm gone, they're going to pretend I never did what I did. That wasn't paranoia. That was prophecy. Just a year after his death, an article dropped asking, is LeBron already the greatest Laker of all time? Seriously? A guy who'd been with the Lakers for 2 years was getting crowned over the man who gave them 5 titles, spilled sweat and pride for 20 seasons, and died with the purple and gold practically stitched into his soul? And it wasn't just fans raising eyebrows. Former teammates have anonymously hinted that Kobe never fully embraced LeBron's move to LA. Not because he hated him, but because it hurt. He felt pushed out, overlooked, like the game had moved on without even blinking. One assistant coach allegedly shared a moment from 2018 when LeBron first landed in LA. He said Kobe was polite, but you could tell he wasn't feeling it. It was like watching someone walk into your old house, toss out your furniture, and redecorate like you never lived there. And the coldest part? The Lakers didn't even include Kobe in LeBron's welcome campaign. No invite, no nod, nothing. That wasn't just a slip-up, that was a message, loud and clear. And the message was received. The darkest moment in this entire story? The weekend Kobe passed. Multiple sources close to the Bryant family say Kobe had planned something major. A video letter for LeBron. It wasn't just to congratulate him, it was meant to defend his own legacy. A real passing of the torch, but on Kobe's terms. Vanessa reportedly told a close friend that Kobe wanted the world to hear it straight from him. Greatness isn't just about stats, it's about mentality, Mamba mentality. But that message never got out. The crash happened first, and what followed? A silence so heavy, even LeBron couldn't break through it. And here's where things get real. What LeBron didn't say, the part Vanessa has hinted at, is that those phone calls between them, they were rare, not deep, not personal. Because deep down, Kobe never truly believed LeBron understood what it meant to wear that Lakers jersey. Kobe saw what was coming, the TikTok era, fast fame, super team shortcuts, media hype over heart. As Vanessa told those close to her, Kobe didn't hate LeBron the man. He hated what he represented. A whole system that crowned hype kings over real warriors. And according to someone tied to the Bryant estate, Kobe left behind pages of journals. And in one of them, written right after LeBron's 2016 championship with Cleveland, he had some things to say. Some things that were never meant for the cameras, but they're starting to come to light now. Kobe once wrote in his journal, "The media will anoint whoever fits their narrative, not whoever puts in the real work. That's why I built for myself, not for them." That's not jealousy, that's clarity. And that right there says it all. At the memorial for Kobe and Gianna, Vanessa stood strong at the mic. The world was watching. Celebrities, NBA stars, the whole globe tuned in. But through all the tears, all the love poured out. Not once did she mention LeBron, not even a passing word, and instead she said, "Family came first to him." That was her final word, and it spoke louder than anything. For Kobe, legacy wasn't about numbers, flashy headlines, or ESPN debates. It was about integrity, about blood, about loyalty. And that silence, that was a message too. This battle over legacy, Kobe never had to say it out loud. His actions always spoke for him. The real reason he kept distance from LeBron wasn't hate, it was principles. According to a family confidant, just after the memorial, Vanessa shared something chilling. Kobe once told her, "The difference between me and LeBron is simple. I wanted to earn it. He wanted it handed to him." This isn't just a basketball story. It's about what happens when legacy runs headfirst into politics, when being real clashes with curated image, when the mamba mentality is forced to survive in a world that worships likes over loyalty. And in 2018, Kobe hit a new milestone, winning an Academy Award for Dear Basketball. That wasn't just a win for him. It was a game changer for every athlete dreaming beyond the court. Kobe wasn't just the guy who could drop 81 points anymore. He had become something bigger, a storyteller, a creator, a father, a whole multi-dimensional force. But not even 24 hours after his Oscar win for Dear Basketball, the sports media wasn't buzzing about him. They were busy dissecting LeBron's Instagram post about it. And that post, people weren't impressed. The photo was cropped weird, the caption was dry, and the biggest red flag, it didn't even mention Kobe by name. One fan dropped a comment that said it all. "Why can't you just say congratulations, man? Why do you always gotta make it about yourself?" And honestly, that was the pattern. Folks close to Kobe, including Vanessa, started noticing the same thing again and again. Anytime Kobe hit a new milestone, LeBron's reaction was either late, bland, or non-existent. But when LeBron broke a record, the NBA's socials would go wild. Posts everywhere, tribute videos, fanfare, even love from folks who once rode for Kobe. Vanessa reportedly confided in a friend back in 2019. It's not jealousy, it's revision. And that's worse, because while people were rewriting the narrative, they were erasing the truth right along with it. Then came 2020. Kobe was being inducted into the Hall of Fame, a moment that should have brought the entire league together. But LeBron, silent. No tribute, no public words, nothing. Vanessa stood there and gave a powerful, heartbreaking speech in Kobe's honor. And just like all the moments before, not once did she say LeBron's name, not one single time. Not once did Vanessa acknowledge LeBron's presence, and that wasn't by accident. Behind closed doors, she reportedly told her inner circle, "If you're not gonna lift him up when he's gone, don't pretend you supported him when he was here." According to a former Lakers staffer, Kobe and LeBron did have one final face-to-face talk. It happened in early 2020, right before the pandemic hit. Both were at a Nike event, briefly stuck together in a backstage holding area. No cameras, no press, no crowd, just two legends alone. The staffer said Kobe looked LeBron straight in the eye and told him, not angrily, but with conviction, "I respect the talent, but you don't represent what this franchise means. Not to me." LeBron didn't argue. He stayed quiet. They shook hands. And that was the last time they ever saw each other. Vanessa reportedly heard about the moment that same night. Months later, she confirmed it in private, saying Kobe told her it felt like closure, like he had finally said what had been weighing on his chest for years. And it broke her heart because deep down, Kobe wanted to pass the torch, but only to someone who truly got it. And in his eyes, LeBron never did. This story didn't end when Kobe passed, it just shifted. Vanessa didn't just inherit sorrow, she inherited a fight for his legacy, his image, his story, his name. And right in the middle of it, a quiet but powerful tug of war between the truth and the NBA's polished machine. After Kobe passed, the narrative flipped, but not the way you'd think. Suddenly, the same media outlets that spent years questioning if he was overrated were calling him the greatest of all time. The same execs who once pushed for his early retirement were now pumping out Mamba Forever merch like clockwork. And Vanessa, she saw right through it. When Nike came knocking, trying to renew Kobe's deal, but with less creative control, fewer product drops, and tighter licensing, Vanessa said no. Not out of spite, but out of loyalty. She walked away from billions just to protect what Kobe had dreamed of, a truly independent Mamba brand. Later, she explained it clearly. Kobe and I had a vision to build a brand that reflects his legacy and honors his work, not someone else's version of it. That wasn't just a business decision. That was a bold move, a strike, because Vanessa knew exactly what was happening. The same system that crowned LeBron as the face of the future? They had once tried to erase Kobe from the past, and she wasn't having it. Not while she still had breath in her lungs. To keep Kobe and Gigi's spirit alive, Vanessa launched the Mamba and Mambachita Foundation, a non-profit focused on leveling the playing field for young women in sports. A cause straight from Kobe's heart and Gigi's dream. And during her emotional memorial speech, she looked the world in the eye and said, Vanessa didn't just talk, she moved. She created Mambachita apparel. She threw tournaments. She showed up front row at WNBA games. And when the WNBA gave Kobe and Gigi honorary draft picks, she stood strong, honoring their dream. But fans started noticing something strange. Where was LeBron? The so-called face of the NBA was missing from nearly all the tributes. No appearances, no collaborations, no public support for the Mamba and Mambachita Foundation. And people began asking why. Because by then it was obvious. This wasn't just a grieving family. This was a legacy under pressure, being guarded like treasure. In 2022, the NBA dropped a flashy 75th anniversary documentary, a high-budget tribute to the league's legends. And while Kobe was featured, he wasn't centered, not spotlighted, not honored the way fans believed he should have been. Vanessa, she wasn't even invited to be part of it. Sources close to the family say she was disappointed, but not surprised. One longtime Bryant associate said she's watched the league slowly push Kobe down the ranks ever since LeBron arrived in LA. And now she's done staying quiet. That same year, Vanessa clapped back. She linked up with independent filmmakers to start work on a Kobe-approved documentary, one that strips out the NBA fluff and tells the real story. The mindset, the grit, the pain, the truth, no edits, no filters, just Mamba. Because here's what Vanessa understands better than anyone. Kobe's legacy, it ain't just about rings, it's about reach. Ask Jason Tatum, who rocks a Kobe armband before every playoff game. Ask Sabrina Ionescu, who trained under Kobe and proudly wears his number in the WNBA. Ask Devin Booker, who tattooed "Be Legendary" on his arm, Kobe's final message to him, signed on a shoe. Ask Naomi Osaka, who straight up said, that's the legacy that matters, and that's the legacy Vanessa is protecting. Not numbers, not media-made debates, not those recycled ESPN rankings, it's influence. Because while LeBron's name might dominate the headlines, it's Kobe's mentality that lives in locker rooms across the world. Now Vanessa is working on something big, a full biographical series. No filters, no spin, just the raw truth. The injuries, the scandals, the 4 a.m. grind, the broken fingers, the heartbreak, the comebacks, the 81-point game, the girl dad era, the Oscar win, the final goodbye, all of it. And this time, she's calling the shots, full creative control, because Kobe didn't leave that truth in the hands of the media or the league. He left it with her. Now imagine, what if Vanessa had publicly passed the torch to LeBron? What if she united the legacies, gave her blessing, and called LeBron the true heir? That almost happened. In an off-the-record convo with a journalist who later leaked it, Vanessa allegedly said, Kobe always believed you don't inherit greatness, you earn it. And in her eyes, LeBron never earned Kobe's trust. That's not hate, that's just real. So now, 4 years after Kobe's passing, Vanessa Bryant stands tall, not just as a widow, but as a guardian, a protector of a man who defied every odd and left behind more than just stats. He left behind a standard, a guardian of a daughter who dreamed bigger than the WNBA could even picture, a guardian of a name they tried to soften, clean up, and repackage into something safer for the next wave of fans. But Vanessa's not having it. What she's saying, loud, clear, and forever, is simple. Kobe Bryant doesn't need to be rewritten. He just needs to be remembered. And if that means putting LeBron's role under the spotlight, so be it. Because there's no crown out there heavy enough to carry what Mamba built, the sweat, the sacrifice, the scars. Before anyone talked beef with LeBron, there was already blood in the water because Kobe wasn't just a competitor, he was a predator. He didn't win through friendships, he won through fire. Every championship, every MVP snub, every who's the best debate, Kobe took names. Names he remembered, names he targeted. And now, even years after his passing, Vanessa and Kobe's closest circle are finally peeling back the curtain, sharing the rivalries that drove him, the betrayals that cut deep, and the faces he never forgave, no matter how many polite post-game handshakes he gave out. This is the side they don't show you in those shiny highlight reels. Kobe's greatness wasn't just born in the gym. It was built in conflict. It was raw. It was ruthless. It was real. Take it back to one of the most explosive chapters, Kobe and Shaq. They dominated the league, winning 3 straight championships, but behind the banners, it wasn't pretty. It was basketball's most legendary duo and its most brutal breakup. On the court, Kobe and Shaq were unstoppable, but behind the scenes, it was all-out war. Kobe saw Shaq as lazy, entitled, a dude who coasted on raw talent while he was grinding in the gym at 3 a.m. Back in 2003, Kobe didn't hold back. He told reporters, "I'm tired of being a sidekick." And Shaq? He clapped back in public hard, even throwing jabs at Kobe's legal battles and interviews. The beef tore the Lakers apart, splitting the locker room and eventually the whole franchise. By 2004, management made a choice. They picked Kobe. Shaq got traded to Miami. And while the world blamed Kobe for the fallout, the truth, he wanted Shaq gone. Vanessa later confirmed it. Kobe felt like Shaq's presence was holding him back from becoming the leader he knew he could be. He once told her, "He's the best center I've ever played with, but I'll never win the way I want to until he's out." Sure, they made peace for the cameras, but in private, it never fully healed. Because for Kobe, that feud wasn't just drama, it was defining. And while that fire burned with Shaq, another rival haunted him in silence, Tim Duncan. There was no trash talk, no fights, but Duncan was the ghost Kobe could never shake. While Kobe and Shaq were busy feuding, Duncan and the Spurs were quietly stacking rings, building a dynasty in the shadows. Every time Kobe made a run at the Western Conference crown, there was Duncan standing in the way. Kobe once told ESPN, "Duncan is the one I respect the most. He took rings from me." But behind that respect, there was real deep-rooted bitterness. In Phil Jackson's book, The Last Season, he wrote that Kobe hated how the media treated Tim Duncan, like some graceful, humble golden boy, while Kobe got labeled the villain. Kobe reportedly told his teammates, "They love him because he's boring but effective." And that line, that cut deeper than any trash talk ever could. But if there was one team Kobe truly couldn't stand, it was the Boston Celtics. The 2008 NBA Finals were brutal. The Celtics didn't just beat the Lakers, they embarrassed them. Took the series in 6 and humiliated Kobe in Game 6 with a 39-point blowout on national TV. Paul Pierce called him overrated. Ray Allen clowned his leadership. Kevin Garnett laughed right in his face during fast breaks. That loss flipped a switch. The next season, Kobe went possessed mode. He tore through the playoffs, crushed Orlando in the finals, and 2 years later, he got his shot at revenge. Game 7, Lakers versus Celtics. Kobe shot just 6 for 24, but he still won. He broke them, took that title through grit and fury. Vanessa later said Kobe told her, "That 2010 ring, that was the sweetest because it was revenge." And that grudge, it never died. Years later, when Ray Allen was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Kobe was invited to send a tribute. He said no. And let's rewind to 2006. Kobe drops 81 points on the Raptors, playing like a man possessed. But not long after, in the playoffs, Raja Bell, a no-name guard on the Phoenix Suns, had the nerve to clothesline Kobe mid-game. No ball, just straight-up foul play. And Kobe never forgot it. Kobe couldn't stand Raja Bell. During an ESPN interview, Kobe fired back hard, saying, "I don't know this kid. I've never spoken to this guy. He doesn't know anything about me. So for him to say I'm a pompous, arrogant individual, that's a quote from a player who's been dominated." That wasn't just smoke. It was personal. Bell's foul, straight-up clotheslining Kobe blew up on national TV. It turned into memes, jokes, viral clips. But for Kobe, that was disrespect. Every time they faced off after that, Kobe took it personally, and he made Bell pay over and over. But Raja wasn't the only one who tested him. In 2000, during a Knicks versus Lakers game, Kobe got into it with guard Chris Childs. They were jawing at each other when, boom, Childs threw a quick two-piece to Kobe's jaw. And Kobe, he barely flinched. That clip became legendary. It told the world, Kobe might lose the game, but he'd never lose the fight. Now let's talk Steve Nash. They were neighbors in Orange County, friends, trained together. But when Nash won back-to-back MVPs in 2005 and 2006 over Kobe, that changed everything. Kobe averaged 35.4 points that season. Nash, just 18.8. Fans were heated. Kobe was livid. He never said it out loud, but a former assistant coach revealed Kobe felt, "They don't want me to win, they want the safe guy, the smiling guy." Even Nash later admitted he could feel the tension after those MVP years. And when they became Lakers teammates in 2012, that bond never fully clicked. Because for Kobe, every snub was fuel and every snub was war. Kobe and Dwayne Wade, yeah, they were cool, teammates on Team USA. Respect was there. But when Wade broke Kobe's nose during the 2012 All-Star Game, Kobe never forgot. He still showed love, but deep down, he saw Wade as second tier, a prince, not a king. Vanessa later shared that Kobe once joked, "Wade got rings, but he didn't have to carry the whole building like I did." Classic Kobe, straight to the point, no sugarcoating. See, Kobe didn't pick fights for drama. He picked rivals to sharpen himself. They weren't just opponents, they were fuel. Every clash, every grudge, every snub, it all became part of his blueprint. Mental checkpoints he crushed, then left burning behind him. And that's exactly why Vanessa Bryant is speaking out. These stories, the raw, gritty ones, matter. Because Kobe's greatness wasn't just built on banners and highlights. It was built on conflict, on pressure, on battles that fans never even saw. He wasn't trying to be liked. He was trying to be remembered. And through Vanessa's voice, the real Kobe, the obsessive, fearless, unshakable force, is finally being seen. That fire, yeah, it burned bridges, but it also forged a legacy so powerful, no spin or revision can erase it. Thanks for watching. If this story hit you, don't forget to like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share this video with someone who needs to hear the real Kobe story. Catch you in the next one.